This video is going to be a quick update on the RKT9, and I'm doing a series of reviews on this bike, and rather than wait 3 or 4 weeks and do kind of a longer term ride report, I'm going to do 1 or 2 mini reviews to kind of, like I said, give an update. And so this one comes after a time trial that I did today, and it's a time trial loop that I use quite often because it's good training for my cyclocross season. The loop takes about 33 minutes and it's rolling hills the whole way. And I've done it several times on my Anthem this year, and I actually beat all of my times today on the RKT9. Now, I did have one time last year that I haven't beat, but that one's kind of an outlier because something's a little funky with that, the way it recorded on Strava. I was about 55 seconds slower, but when I start that segment on my Garmin, it shows me that I'm already like 18 seconds behind that record, even though I'm only a few seconds into the loop. So something's a little off. So I feel pretty confident going with the 3 or 4 times that I've done that loop on my Anthem 27.5 this year. Now, a few things to note. One thing was working against me today, and that is the fact that it was really, really humid. The heat index was really high because there's a tropical storm going by Florida that's going up into Georgia, Tropical Storm Julia. And when the humidity was over 70%, when it's that high in the woods, it just really zaps your energy. The thing that was going for me was the fact the trails were really buffed out from an 8-hour race that occurred a couple weekends ago. And so the trails were really smooth in some sections. But we had a heavy rain yesterday, and the soil, when it's moist from a heavy rain, it feels like it's slower. It's good grip in the corners, but I feel like it's a little slower. So all those things weighing out, I feel like the conditions were pretty even with the earlier loops I've done this year on the Anthem 27.5. So I'm going to show you on Strava the several times that I've done it on the Anthem 27.5 and on the RKT9 today. So let's take a look. All right, so looking at Strava, doing my comparison of this loop. Like I said, it's about a 32-minute loop, and I've done a comparison here where I show all of them together. So I'll go to the end, and here's the top one, the 9:14, was obviously today, and then my next best time was done back in March. All the other ones were done on my Anthem 27.5. So the closest one was 9 seconds. So that's the pink one. So on this line here, you can see that they're pretty close. The Anthem 27.5 was ahead. And interestingly, this loop is in an open field for the first part. A lot of turns. You dip into the woods for a little bit, but then probably about a third of the way in is when you really hit tight wooded single track. And so the Anthem was ahead for a while, and then as the pink line goes on, it drops below. So the black flat line here is my time on the RKT9 today. And then, like I said, the pink one was the closest, and that was 9 seconds off. In August, so pretty similar heat conditions as today, I was 19 seconds off. I found that like in the spring and in the late fall is when I put in my fastest lap times because the weather cools off, and when it's this humid, it's almost like the air feels so thick that you're pushing your way through it. And like I said, the soil can be moist. So yeah, I probably will get a better lap time in late October when we really cool off and the humidity drops to a more sane level. I did 3 of these in August. The next best time, again, all these were on the Anthem 27.5. I had 23 seconds slower, 38 seconds slower, and then the most recent one actually was a couple weeks ago, and I was a minute and 26 seconds slower on the giant Anthem 27.5. So yeah, I'm pleased with the RKT9 so far. And I'll mention one thing, that I'm using the remote lockout on that bike. I know it's there, so I'm making myself use it, but I'm really enjoying it. And I told you in the first look review that I wasn't sure about the remote lockout, but so far so good. I found myself really locking out the shock on climbs. And now when I say lock out, it doesn't fully lock out, and I'll cover that in my more long-term review, which is good because I don't want a shock that locks out on the trail. So that's just useless to me. I mean, and it's good for the road, but it gets firm enough where it's still fine on the road. But anyway, so Strava's kind of cool. If you ever have done this, you can click this play button and it just let me do it again. So it'll kind of show you competing against yourself, and you can do this with other people too. There's so many tools that you can use in Strava. It's really cool. And I'm a premium member, so I don't know if that's only for premium members, but Strava is probably the one app that I really pay for because I use it so much. So anyway, just wanted to do a quick update to let y'all know that the first time trial went really well on the RKT9. I'm going to do a few more comparisons, and if I don't sell the Anthem in the next few weeks, I'm going to do some back-to-back comparisons with that, and maybe do one more time trial on that bike. The Anthem's fun to ride. It's a really fun bike. So is the RKT. The RKT is just not quite as agile as the Anthem, but it's fast. So, but I'll hit all that when I do my other comparisons. So that'll wrap it up for this one. Thanks for watching.